Hey everybody, what's up? This is Retrokid Reviews, and the best, I guess, lighting I had so far for the basement down here this week. Showing off, finally, I did promise, and I will deliver, the Super 7 San Diego Comic-Con, I think, exclusive, somehow got on retail over the holidays, thanks to family, black and gold, Dragonzord, and, Tommy. So we're gonna start off with the accessories for both figures first, because I'm pretty sure I don't have time for both. But before we get to that, I want to show off the miniature slash obviously that is my Nerf Elite 2.0 Jolt. If by the time of this recording the 66 and short is already out with my quick review of that. I did get some updates even from that short. Yeah, it turns out I didn't ream through enough of the ARs to the point now the reason why it's that black and cavernous down there. That means pretty much I just dry fired it to the point where the AR cap is out. Keep in mind it is still legitimately impossible to open up. I think after that recording I did fiddle around with my tools. Mostly stuff I can use as like a semi-spudger that is pretty much recommended for early Elite 2.0 blasters. And in case you can tell from the detents there, that's as much as you're going to get. Again, you are leaving marks. Captain Xavier's video when this was new 4 years ago was not kidding when it comes to marking these figures. So, yeah, that might be a thing if you're looking for these now at Goodwill's at this point. So, another Nerf update. Qualcomm did a huge explainer video of the entire Zombie Strike series, so go to there if you want to see that. So, like I said, now getting back into the review, back in action, more or less. Starting off with the accessories, because like I said, I do not have time for pretty much all of them. I'm going to start with Tommy's first, because it is rather the most unique. I highly recommend, I think, MMPR Toys' video. I think Bruno did a good job explaining that as well. So clearly, they're not out of the package yet, but you can also see alternate arms and different shielding there. For a while, I thought it was like an in-joke for like the Sentai Dragon Shield, because it was never really lined up like in the Sentai footage, but turns out it's actually the original toys back in '93 here in the West, down to even, I think, when we get to the weapons, it's pretty obvious. When we get to his version of the Ranger, Thunder Blast, and obviously some other accessories here we'll talk about in a minute. Yeah, even down to his Dragon Dagger over here, it is obviously a nod to the original toy line back in the Bandai days. So for these two weapons over here, I believe this was a temporary sword in the show. He had to hold over his powers until he became White Ranger later on in Season 2 through 3. And this one here, I think, was I think a Weapon of the Week homemade thing Billy made that actually helped him, because no joke, if I check that episode or go to MMPR Toys' video discussing that figure, he basically pulled a Tremors, a little blurred gummer there, to like shoot his way out of the Monster of the Week that time in that episode. So that's pretty cool there too. I'll probably try my best to do something with these hands later down the road for photos for Instagram. These are the Dragonzord accessories. It's not much. You still get the missiles, hands, and all that. But something I think the original retail release has that this figure doesn't have, the missile effect parts for launching them for that fingers. So you're missing something out there with this version of the release. So I'm gonna finish with Tommy's first. Well, start, I guess. It's actually not bad. I think the biggest complaint I've heard so far with Super 7 figures is not that articulated. However, it's really not that needed here, because I'm going to be honest, this is the most streamlined version of Tommy I think I've seen in a while. I'll probably do photos and on the community tab, comparing to the only other Lightning Collection Tommy figure I have, which was the White Ranger when it was new at the time. And already you can tell a 9-day difference. I think the helmet is more glossier than I think the whole figure itself. I know Hasbro's taking a bit of a pause making actual Lightning Collection figures for this year. I hope it's not the rest of the series going forward, just this year alone, hopefully. Just figure out what to do next reboot-wise. Yeah. It's a good comparison to, essentially, going back to his accessories here, the head sculpts. This is the Green with Evil Days him, and this is the in between seasons 1 and 2, just got back being good kind of him. And they're not bad art, head sculpt wise. It's not 100% Jason David Frank's likeness, RIP still to him to a year on. And honestly, it's not bad. I can see how they kind of had to cartoonify it because Super 7 was known for really helping out 70s and 80s cartoon figures, and coming into Mighty Morphin being mostly live action. It's a bit jarring, but I won't know until I get to like their season 2 and most of the other teams they might do down the road to see if they're going to be more show accurate by that point. But honestly, they look good. If you need to be in like a Boom Comics run art style, those head sculpts, in my opinion, are kind of worth it nonetheless. So yeah, like I said, for the articulation, there's not really much here. I won't disassemble the hands or the arms due to timing, because I want to get to the Dragonzord, because I got a lot to say about that figure. However, yeah, the single joints are actually not bad than how it looks. The ankle spread, I've had both these figures down here for like a couple of weeks in winter weather, and somehow, yeah, it hasn't really brittled at all, so I guess that's a good thumbs up, at least as far as quality control goes, as usual for Super 7 figures. If it's anything like Hasbro figures, they'll probably have an easy, I guess, pegs for the hands, since they are working in tandem with Hasbro with these releases, if I remember correctly, with the Super 7 Power Rangers figures. However, you just want more like cloth goods and something like in line with the original suits. I think the Figure Zero series is happening as of this recording. I think they're only up to Zeo, and I'm not gonna lie, their version of Zero Ranger 5 Red, Tommy looks pretty good. If it comes with like an alt head sculpt, my best guess, I hope so, because long hair Tommy was a very long thing, even by the time you get to like the mid-90s when it was like Turbo. So yeah, it's a long story there as far as hair, like the ever-evolving hairs of JDF appearances go, especially in Disney era with Dino 30. Sorry, I just came off of work as of this recording. So yeah, let's finish this off with the Dragonzord, because first off, I don't know if it's going to be for all Zords. I won't know until I get, I guess, news of the upcoming, or already out by this recording, knowing my luck, their version of the Megazord. They give you power coins for the Zords. I don't know if they do this for every figure, so don't hold me to it, but let me know in the comments down below which figures does have power coins. And it's way more weighty than I thought it was going to be. Like I said with for the Green Ranger's head sculpt, there is some gloss to it, but more like a metallic sheen kind of gloss. It's actually not bad. Back of the coin is obviously the Zoo Ranger crest, so again, shout out to the Sentai as well, as usual. And yeah, not bad. It's a lot more, like I said, weighted than it looks, but not as heavy like an old Legacy Power Corn, or even the current Lightning Collection Morphers Power Corn, so that's on to you. So on to the figure. This guy's a big dude. I forgot, as of this recording, I forgot to bring down my NECA, I think Godzilla vs. Biollante Godzilla, because he's almost at that scale. I know the scaling for Super 7 Ranger figures are going to be hovering around like almost 7 inches. This is feeling like an 8-incher. And sorry, I just had a minor lunch on the way here, my bad, and the burps. Yeah, the cool thing about the articulation here, since I have time, is limited, but in a good way, because it is pretty much show accurate to what the suit actor probably had to go through. The only thing that I think is the most articulated is obviously the tail. The drill bit is, I don't know if it's removable. I don't think it is, but if it was, there should have been an effect part there for like a spark effect of like attacking like either a Monster of the Week or the Rangers during the Green with Evil days. Another thing I kind of avoided for years, even as I guess big fan of the show at the time as a kid, I never really digged the black and gold aesthetic. There was never really like a reason to it. There was never really like an in-universe explanation to it, unless I want to make it like their equivalent of an Ultra mode. So if by some reason in the next couple of months, when I go back to figure form lore, Retrokid, if this suddenly becomes my Megazord, you'll probably know why. But yeah, other than that, the rest of the articulation is pretty limited. Again, this is trying to be like suit accurate, not show accurate, or at least toy accurate, what it was at the time. What I hope down the road for when they do more Zords, in figure form is that they try to have like shout outs to like even its build a figure phase when it comes to like the thing about like most Power Rangers Zords are basically parts formers, long story short, there to connect everything together. But to get a good representation of the whole thing together, at least to me at least, is very nice. Same thing with I guess Tommy's Power Coin. There is a Zoo Ranger crest right there, and not really much as far as referencing the Sentai goes. There is an ankle pivot, which is surprisingly better than it looks. Again, this is a very blocky figure back in the 90s, and the fact that it's still like half the weight that I think it would normally be, even with those die-cast molds during like the legacy days with Bandai USA at the time. Easily better. The spread is not bad, and no head articulation because, again, it was molded to what the suit was at the time. However, I'm almost certain, yeah, you can kind of get the mouth to move. Again, if this was more aligned like a mold of like an old Godzilla suit that they probably used. Different companies, by the way. That this was a Toei figure back when it was Zoo Ranger. Toho was obviously in charge of Godzilla, and unfortunately, I have to remind them, my audience, that I did not see or see Godzilla -1 in time. I'll hope it's on streaming before the Oscars next month, hopefully, so I can get a good proper review as like a, I guess, lead up to that, if anything else. If anything, I hope it still wins the effects award. If anything else, I'm glad it's nominated. So back to my final thoughts on this figure. It's pretty good. Like I said, with most of Tommy's figure as well, there are single joint articulation, but in a good way when it comes to this particular figure. I'm going to try my best to show what a normal scenario would be for this figure. I'm going to wrap it up here with my new set. This is kind of what I want to try to do. Essentially, give it like a grounded kind of appeal when it comes to the train set, when it comes to miniatures and stuff like that. And so yeah, let's get the scores since we got time. For the Tommy figure, I'm going to go for a straight 9 out of 10. It's a straight 9 mainly because of these single joints. After that, it's pretty amazing. The accessories look great. I didn't even have time to talk about how they even sculpted the Mighty Morpher and all that. Great shout outs to the original toy line back in the day. They even have feather ruffles, I think, for his Sword of Darkness, so that's amazing as well. Ultimately, that's a great pickup. I think he's at $60, and I think depending on where you get the black and gold or the original retail version of the Dragonzord is going to be a little bit more. I think like $70. So again, thank you, family, as usual, for getting me this on the holidays. So yeah, for the Dragonzord, it is going to dock down to like an 8.5 out of 10, mainly because I kind of have a big of a pet peeve, but yet kind of bypass given how like girthy and yet somehow light the Dragonzord is. But other than that, it would have got a straight 9 if this particular release also did the same thing as the retail release and kept the missile effect parts, because that would look great for this train set that I will absolutely try my best to showcase better, I think, on Instagram than I am here for this review. So I'm gonna leave it here. So what did you think of both of these figures? Did I do this review justice? Was your weight worth all this time? I highly recommend these figures if you have the money, honestly. Also, my dearest apologies for waiting almost 2.5 months for this review. So with that said, go to Tommy over here to hit the sub to the channel, hit the notification bell down below, and correspondingly coming up down to the Dragonzord here to see my Critical Role shorts and my 60-second review shorts for not just the upcoming and already done mod of the Nerf Jolt, the Nerf Volt. Elite 2.0 is going to Elite 2.0, but also I kind of prepped a 60-second review of Helix's or box and everything. And more importantly, I'm going to leave the short there as well to give you a better showcase to what I'm going to hopefully do later down the road if I get a better clamp for the miniatures, so I can give you a better set representation of what I want to do with the new set for figure reviews going down the road for 2024 and hopefully beyond. And with that all said, take care, subscribe. I am Retrokid Reviews saying, may the power protect you, and this is a great figure line. If you have the time, if you have the means, I still highly recommend saving your money, wait for it on sale on Big Bag Toy Store or anything like that down the road. However, if you're going to go for the full price, you are not missing out. There are enough plentiful accessories to work off of. I highly recommend it. if you got the time. And with that said, one last rest in peace for JDF. Even a year later, it's still weird, but hey, may the power protect you, and thank you again for your patience. And with that all said, take care, subscribe, and yeah, worth the wait, I'm gonna be honest.